Welcome back to Gun Totin' Minnesotan. Today I'm taking a look at an optic sent out to the channel by Redwin Optics. I've reviewed a 3-18 from them in the past, and that was an awesome optic, so I'm looking forward to reviewing this. This is their Cobra Mini red dot reflex type sight with a mount that they've sent in. Really nice mount that I like. We're going to take a closer look at both of these starting now. So you do have a manual. Again, that's the Cobra RWD 19 or the Cobra Mini. It's a 21 by 15. It does have a lens cleaning cloth. Has some of your hardware there. And then here's the optic itself and a tool. So everything that you need to mount it up like in a pistol setting. And then with the mount here, I'm going to start with this. The mount did come with some hardware and a tool. And as you can see, it does have a single Picatinny slot on the bottom. And on the tool side, this is a Torx or a star bit style. And that's just going to grab onto your Picatinny, so this expands out. There is spring tension on that, which is cool. That's a nice feature to have. And then as you tighten it down, it's just going to clamp on that Picatinny piece, and it'll fit in a single slot of Weaver or Picatinny. Nice lightweight design. Does have some pass-through there, you can see. Before mounting up, I just wanted to show you that this does come with a rubberized cover. Inside, it tells you what kind of battery. It's a CR2032, which I have one handy here next to me. And the rubberized cover, put that to the side. It does fit nice and tight, which is good to see. You have a plus sign on the left side and a minus sign on the right side. There's your windage, or sorry, your elevation rather. And let's see, windage. Windage is on the right side, okay. And there's your windage. There's the box you'd be looking through. Let's go ahead and throw the battery in. Pretty simple installation, and it is on. Hopefully you can see that dot there. Looks like a pretty nice, tight, crisp dot. Let's go ahead and hit the plus sign a few times and see what that does. Definitely has a decent intensity level. And some night vision settings. Okay, go back up from the bottom. Oops. Very, very intense. Definitely daylight bright. No worries about that at all. Decent size viewing box. Housing looks good. Has a little bit of a design to it, but nothing that would snag or catch if you were to put it on a pistol. It also has two dots, if you can see right here, this dot and this dot, which could be really nice to interface with pistol sights. If you had nothing else and you needed something to use as a backup, I think that right there could give you some reference points with your front sight on a pistol. Okay, on the base itself, you can see that there's two threaded spots, and then you have these placeholders, kind of some stainless steel pins, and on the bottom, you have areas for those 4 holders, and then you have where it's actually going to interface directly into those holes, and that's where the Torx are going to go. These Torx have blue Loctite on them, and so I'm happy to see that Redwin is thinking through the installation process and also the firing process, because you want blue Loctite on these every time, especially if it's going on a pistol sight. I'm going to be mounting mine on some rifles, and then it's actually going to go on a QD mount after this, so that I can switch it around easily to test it on multiple things. I might even piggyback this on an AR, but having some blue Loctite installed already allows me just to trust that it's not going to bounce off or slip off. I'm not going to crush the optic by over-tightening that, but it looks good. That's a nice, really small footprint, pretty low profile. It really would go very, very well on a pistol. But like I said, my test is going to be using this on a rifle and possibly even piggyback on an AR. As you can see here, the box, the size of the window is plenty big enough, and the dot brightness, the intensity is plenty enough as well, although I could go brighter if I really needed to, or back it off. But I prefer to keep it right about there. That's about the intensity I'm looking for. Contrasts nicely, definitely, again, clears these lift to operate turrets. But if you wanted to piggyback this Cobra from Redwin on top of a Redwin precision optic, it obviously would work pretty well. And they have mounts available that you could get. You would just need a 30mm tube Picatinny piece to attach it. Modern anti-reflective coatings are pretty solid, and they're going to help you with any glare issues. I haven't noticed any glare looking through the optic. This is looking through the front edge, the kind of convexed portion. You can see a little glare on this side, but when you are looking into the red dot from the proper portion, you're not going to see that glare. All right, if the traffic is quiet enough behind me, you should be able to hear these impacts at 50 yards here. I'm just going to transition between my optic and red dot a few times for fun and see how it does. Empty. Well, let's try that again. Empty. Yeah, it transitions pretty good. All right, now switching it over to this rifle. I've put it on a QD base here just because it's more convenient for me switching things around all the time. What I need to do next is to zero it. I've already taken 2 shots just to confirm exactly where it's impacting. And for the most part, all I need to do on this setup on the riser right now is give it a little lift about 12 inches higher, and then I'll be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and use the included tool here to give it some elevation adjustment. I believe that was it, and that's probably going to be good to go. So let's go ahead and try it on some 10-inch targets here at a little past 100 yards. One more thing I did want to mention is that Redwin does include a 5-year warranty with this product, and so if something does happen to it, you're able to get it replaced. And if you want to turn this off, all you have to do is hold the negative or the down brightness button for 3 seconds, and as you look at it, it will fade out and turn off. And then if you want to turn it on, just turn the plus sign on for a second or 2, and it will activate for you if it happens to go to sleep or whatever. All right, let's go ahead and try out a few shots here at a little past 100, and we'll see if that zeroed it. Impact. 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 Pretty easy. One more target. Yeah, looks good to go. So that was a very simple zeroing process, very effective, and it went exactly where it needed to go when I dialed it. If you watch my channel, you know that after a while, 100 yards just isn't going to do it. A couple 100 yards isn't going to do it. I need to at least go 300 yards, even with this red dot. Definitely doable on silhouette style targets or size targets. And being able to adjust that brightness, I can make it bigger or smaller. I can make it a finer dot with tighter edges with the appearance to my eye, or a bigger dot and just really blow it out, make it really bright on a bright day. But right now with the sun going down, I can tone it down a little bit, and I'll throw at least 5 down here at 300, and we'll see if I can get some hits on a silhouette style target. And I'm shooting a 300 blackout with 150 grainers. Nothing special, not even match ammo, but it shouldn't be too much of a workout for this optic and rifle combination at all. By the way, Bear Creek Arsenal, if you go watch my video, use my link, you will get a discount if you want a Bear Creek Arsenal. This is my most accurate, believe it or not, 300 blackout upper. All right, with that off, you should still be able to hear some impacts down there. Not too difficult, and the optic is definitely doing its part, holding up to the vibration and recoil and being tight enough that I can aim on a target that it basically fills the chest on, and I'm getting nice repeat hits. Well, there you have it. Thanks for stopping by Gun-Tote, Minnesota, and I would appreciate it if you go to my Instagram and like that as well. I'll tell you my final and closing thoughts on the Redwin Cobra Mini. I like it a lot. I'm especially appreciating the window. The window is nice and clear. I didn't have issues with strange reflections, shininess in the wrong places. That's something you might see on really cheap red dots and reflex sights, is you might get projection in the wrong places, and just the way that it's built, the coatings that they use, reflections in the wrong places. That's something that can happen on cheaper red dots, and I did not have that issue on this one. This one seemed to be actually a pretty tight red dot. To be honest with you, I really like it. I think this would go very well on a pistol, especially considering they have these kind of like built-in little nubs here with white dots on them that could maybe co-witness a little bit, or at least give you a reference point for where your front sight is on your pistol if you don't have like suppressor height sights or just higher sights in general. I think that would at least give you a reference point if the dot was off, or you left the battery on for too long, or it froze, because extreme cold weather does have an effect on 2032 batteries. It's just across the board, it does that. But I do like the optic. I like the footprint overall. This package right here is very, very small. This is not a huge rifle. It's a little 16-inch, and having this tiny red dot in there is so cool. And especially with a QD mount, so I can quickly take this off. I can throw on maybe that 3-18 from Redwin, the Torero, if I want to shoot a little further, and then QD and put on this red dot, or I can put the red dot on the Torero as a piggyback, which is really cool. There's lots of options. Again, this mounting surface right here for the Cobra Mini, this is going to work for a lot of pistol sights out there. Just go ahead and read the descriptions and see what kind of parts you would need if you don't have the right mounting plate. But those right there were really solid. It came with the Loctite. I think they've thought through the design of this really well. I don't see any buttons or any parts of this that I feel like I'm going to mar up, scratch up, dent up. I don't think it's going to automatically, you know, kill itself as far as the battery goes. It seems like it's doing what it's supposed to do. And the way that they advertise it, zeroing it was very simple and reliable. It went right where I thought it needed to be. As far as the dialing goes, it wasn't like up and over. It wasn't having issues where sometimes the windage and elevation are not exactly true when they're calibrated in cheaper red dots. This one was true. It went just up and just over, and I was very happy to see that I didn't have issues with that. That combined with the 5-year warranty, and the fact that, you know, for under $200 right now, you can get a red dot that's pretty reliable and has a bunch of features. I think it's a good deal. For those of us who like to shoot from 5 yards to 300 yards, I still think that this can do some stuff for you. As long as you're shooting silhouette-sized targets, if you want to shoot fast and you want to stay lightweight, this can be a really nice system on a rifle as well. If you're in the market for a decent red dot reflex sight, or maybe even a precision rifle scope, you're looking to get into that kind of game, I would check out Redwin Optics and see what you think. I think their reticles, their red dots, the actual design of these is definitely next level. It's a tier above some of those entry-level ones that you might see on, let's say, Amazon or eBay. And I think that they function really well. There's a limited time special going on. A part of their celebration, I believe it's a multi-year celebration for just how long they've been in existence as a company. They have a deal going on right now where you can get this mount along with the red dot. So if you check them out soon enough from the time of me posting this video, you may find a really good deal where you get the mount included, so that you can mount it up either on a pistol or you can throw it onto a rifle like I did right here. Anyways, guys, thanks for checking out the channel, and I hope you like this. Maybe watch one of these if this interested you.